Craig, it is always good to see you, but on a day like this, you have got a lot to cover. What is expected when the judge gavels in today?
Well, Steph, a few things. Closing arguments will happen. We're told in fairly short order after the Judge Cahill resumes session here at the top of the hour, 10 o'clock local. It's going to be very interesting because what we've been told so far is that we'll get two lawyers for the prosecution. You have Steve Slisher, who is, of course, one of the lead attorneys for the prosecution. He will present the closing arguments somewhere between an hour and a half. Then the defense will present. We're told, guidance that we're getting is somewhere in the same neighborhood, somewhere around an hour. And then after that, we'll get a rebuttal. And that rebuttal will come from Jerry Blackwell. Jerry Blackwell, known to folks here in the Minneapolis area as the Johnny Cochran of the Midwest, is how he was initially described to me. He's the black attorney you've seen a lot of during the trial. It is important for the prosecution that Blackwell be the last voice they hear before they start their deliberations. They'll get some jury instructions, although they've been given some of those, and some of those instructions have already been decided upon in a closed-door hearing last week. We're told by legal experts here in Hennepin County the judge could very well provide some of those instructions before the closing, and then a few more instructions before they start their deliberations. The expectation here, Steph, is that they will get this case in the early afternoon hours. I spent some time last hour talking to a legal expert here in Hennepin County who said that she does not expect that this is going to be one of those cases that jurors are deliberating over for days or weeks. There is an expectation here on the ground with legal experts that this will be a case that's decided in a matter of days.
And you're on the ground, Craig. You've been there before. You were there immediately after George Floyd's death. You were there during the protest. You were there for the funeral. Talk to us about this moment now.
This is about so much more than just the trial of Derek Chauvin for not just folks here in Minneapolis, not just folks here in Minnesota, but around the country and around the world. I mean, Steph, we've spent a fair amount of time over the last year talking about what George Floyd's death led to, that racial reckoning. So this is a trial that is essentially, for a lot of folks, I don't want to say an indictment because that probably doesn't do it justice, but this is a trial that goes to the very heart of that reckoning that George Floyd's death led to. It's going to be very interesting to see what the reaction to the verdict will be. As we've been talking about over the last few days, preparations underway, not just here in Minneapolis. The National Guard's been called out in Philadelphia, in New York City. Officers there have been told no days off that haven't already been approved. There is concern that a not guilty verdict will lead to violence and unrest. There's also some concern that a guilty verdict could very well lead to the same. So it's going to be very interesting to see how it plays out over the next few days, not just here in Minneapolis, but all over the United States of America.
Can I ask how you feel, Craig?
Sure. First of all, it's hard to believe, Steph, that it's been 11 months. Trials here in Hennepin County, especially, trials don't happen as quickly as this one has. And for someone who's been covering it from the beginning, to your point, I'm anxious. Anxious about a verdict, anxious about the reaction to that verdict. So yeah, I mean that's sort of how I feel. But I think for a lot of folks in the wake of George Floyd's death, as a journalist, it forced me to take a look at how I had been conducting myself personally and professionally. I think a lot of folks have been doing the same thing over the past 11 months. After the verdict, that doesn't go away. I think regardless of the verdict, I think that a lot of folks are changed and will be changed forever in myriad ways.
Hey, thanks for watching our YouTube channel. You should know that you can follow today's top stories and breaking news and catch up on your favorite MSNBC shows all in one place. Download the NBC News app today.